Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For those joining for the first time, this is not a political poll, this is a spiritual poll. Every Sunday, a group of us, we get together and we jump up and down, sing and play and dance on this thing we call the web of creation. A great big trampoline that Spider-Woman made. All right, so today is Sunday, the first Sunday of the year. We just had this super full moon in Cancer. I'm not much of an astrologer, to put it lightly, but I do have an app for that. And so I hope I have that right. Anyway, where we are going today. I was listening to one of my shamanic teachers, Adalberto Villoldo, and he mentioned that he, in his practice of Andean shamanism, is one based on as a fire shaman. And I went, oh, fire shaman, okay. And then he said, there were water shamans, there are earth shamans, there are air shamans. And I went, oh, wow. And I thought, if I was a shaman, which shaman would I be? I'd be a water shaman. I mean, there was no question that. Where are you going to go to learn about this energy practice, this healing practice? I'm going to the water. Yeah, that's what I would do. So I was thinking about this in this new moon energy, this new phase that we are stepping into, this new awareness that feels really scary sometimes. Okay, not sometimes. It feels really scary, and it also is so comforting. It's such a dichotomy, and it's exhilarating and paralyzing at the same time as we step into this. And so I thought that this is a really good time to look at what element is helping or hindering us. And hindering is not the right word, but what element is showing us what we need to let go of. So the way that I've laid this out, and when I look at it, I go, oh, yeah, that's not right. And then I think, well, there is no right, there is no wrong. So at the bottom, I have the Mystical Shaman. That's Adalberto's deck. And this is fire. This is what we put into the fire to transform us quickly. It's like the Tower card. Boom. Put it in there, burn it up, let things grow from that. Over on the west, we have the water, the healing aspects of what water brings. So if we have something that we want to let go of, we take it to, we can wash it off our hands. We can put it in, if we want something to grow, we give it water to let it grow. Okay, yeah, we all know all this stuff. And the top of the reading, what we have here is Earth. And I pulled two cards with Earth. This is the Healing Waters. This was the Starseed Oracle And then I went, you can't pull a starseed oracle for Earth. And then I thought, well, why not? Well, anyway, I put the Tree Keeper's oracle on top of it because that is Earth. But it's as I move on, then we have air. And in this air, I'm using the Galactic Heritage deck, which may work, may not work. You know, as far as air, I don't have an air oracle. Well, maybe I do, but I just didn't pull it. And then in the center of this, it's, I don't know what it is, body, mind, spirit. It is 3 cards. Because as we look at these 4 directions, I thought to myself, or not 4 directions, the 4 healing energies that certain shamans attach themselves to. There is I'm going to forget the name here. There's a podcast called The Shaman's Cave with Sandra Ingerman and Renee, I'm going to mispronounce her name, I apologize, Barbaro. And Renee is a wind shaman. She has whistles and wind instruments that she uses to call in her guides and protections and her awarenesses. So let me back up just a little bit as we're dropping into this energy of protection, this energy of power. Oftentimes I use my 4 directions for my protection wheel. And a lot of times the north direction for me, getting back up here to why I picked 2 cards, is White Buffalo Calf Woman, is the spiritual. And I think of the spiritual in something of the unseen, the higher vibration, yet this is earth. And I go, well, that is it was certainly a high vibration, but it's a lower hum, if you know what I mean, than the higher hum of spiritual. And again, this is just my perception of it, right? So we all have different perceptions of it. There are people who write books. For example, in The Shadow of the Shaman, Amber Wolf, she writes this whole thing on the directions and all the different levels and meanings and archetypes that go with each direction. Sun Bear, his medicine wheel is full of different ways to interpret this wheel. Okay, I think I've talked too much. The bottom line is on this is that things are shifting, things are changing. And what works for one person may not work for another. And so we find ourselves drawn to what really works for us. For example, last night I did a fire ceremony. It felt good. I felt like I overloaded it. I put too much into the fire and it may not have burned up. You know how when you're lighting a fire and you put too much wood in? So it's simmering, it's smoldering, it's going, oh Lord, you put a lot of stuff in here you want to let go of. So, however, I don't think I put the fire out completely. I feel it smoldering and smoking, and pretty soon it's just going to go whoo and burn brightly. But the water, for me, again, I go back to that, and that's what I connect with. My whole life has been about water. So anyway, let's dig into this. So here we have the fire ceremony. What? Wow, I'm looking at the time. 10:01. I've been rambling for a while. The fire ceremony. What do we want to put in the fire in this new moon ceremony, in this new year? And is it what do we want to put in? I've only got one card. What is it we want to put in to release? What do we want to bring into our lives? And I encourage you guys to hit pause now and pull your own spread on this and just see what's the message individually for you. This is a collective message. What's the individual message for you? Okay, so fire. Oh, good. Something easy. Something, no big deal on this one. Soul retrieval. Just a little card. Come on now. Soul retrieval. So we have this, I think it's a moth. It could be a beautiful butterfly. We have a chrysalis. What are we opening up into? What is it? We go back and we do these soul retrievals to recapture the essence of who we are from source energy, from that web of creation that we're jumping up and down on. What's that essence of who we are? So, if this was just my reading, I would say, what is the thing that I want to release? What is it that I really want to step into? And I think we'll get some information as to what we're going to be moving into as we move on. The water energies, the oracle of the water, the healingness of the water, what the water shaman would say. Isle of Avalon, healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. There's a theme here in the first two cards anyway. And this card, when I flipped it over and I was talking about me being a water baby and just my whole life has been around water. When I moved to Los Angeles, we would go, I was a dive instructor there for 20, 30 years. And we would go to Catalina Island. And the place that there was a dive park that they had set up. And this was on the city of Avalon. And so we would go there and we would experience, and I would see people's eyes just open in awareness of awe and beauty as to the undersea, the world that is often not seen by earth dwellers. Just amazing. And then, if you really want to think about Catalina Island and all the mystical galactic things going on, well, that's a whole nother video there. Moving up to the north direction, the direction of Earth. And this is where I go, hey, that's the wrong place, and that's me in my 3D body. So the first card I pulled, see this, Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. So this Star Brothers energy, I look at the keywords and I go, that's what Earth brings us. And then I think about Earth. Well, Earth is a planet. It's part of the star brothers, I guess. Yes? And what earth brings us, when we ground ourselves, we tap into protection, safety, trust. And the reason I didn't say loyalty right away is because how loyal are we to the earth energy? It feels like we are moving more towards a compassionate relationship with earth, and that we will again be loyal to earth. But this Horus energy, I wanted to read from the book just a little bit. It says, the Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let more love in. So when we're thinking of the healing energies of earth, if we get some bad stuff, and let's just think of some foods that we're going to put into a compost pile. We take those foods into a compost pile. That compost churns, heats up, dissolves, and allows a really rich earth in order for corn to grow. Or potatoes if you're Irish like me. That's what the earth energy brings. So let's see. I think this is absolutely the right card, but in my doubting self, I pulled another one, and it works. It's the keeper of nurture. So when we are nurturing Mother Earth nurtures us. All right, moving on to air. Put that back up. Moving on to air. So the wind shaman, would that be prayers? Would that be tones? Would that be light language? All of them? And is it the external noise that comes in, or is it our noise that we send out that brings in the healing energies of the wind shaman? Either way, what they're asking us is to step into the ultimate evolution. Okay, just a little thing, right? Stepping into this ultimate evolution. So again, let me just pick a little from the book. This card represents the birth of a new species. The Zetas transform themselves from a species of fear and limitation to one of higher consciousness, compassion, and love. Not an easy road, but an immensely fulfilling one. So as we're going through this transformation, what are we saying? I hear some of us are going, oh, you stupid idiot, as they stumble into this new evolution. How can you be so, what are you doing? You know, all that kind of negative verbal stuff. And this is the wind direction. This is the sound. This is us taking flight. This is eagle medicine. So as we put it all together, and we could just spin the stone, what do we get? This is from Sacred Path. We get stoned people. Well, these days sometimes I just want to be stoned. It's just like, please, although I don't do that anymore. So I have to go talk to the stone people. And what do the stone people say? Record knowing. Records. Knowing revealed. So when we talk to the stone people, when we talk to Mother Earth, when we talk to Inner Earth, because is there a skin to Mother Earth that gives us messages that is different than the messages from Center Earth? I think yes. So these stone people, what they're saying is they say, talk to us. Let us tell you of the history of what we've seen, of what our evolution was like. It feels like we are all running so fast. News comes so fast to us. The stone people, news comes very slow. And feels like they don't take much attention to the Twitterverse or to the breaking news cycle. The next card we get, and this is from the, what is this? Oh, hang on. Herbal Astrology, Lion's Mane. This is all about leadership. What are we stepping up? How are we stepping up? Are we looking for somebody else to be the leaders, or are we looking inside of us, into our records, into our knowing? How are we stepping up to be leaders in our own sphere? What is our comfort zone? If we were to be called, and we are being called, what is our healing element? What is our healing knowing? Is it fire? Is it water? Is it earth? Is it air? What is it? The last card we pull, thank you. Conscious vision, illumination. So as I look at just these three, I keep asking for illumination. Can I get it fast? Come on, let's do it like fire or wind. Let's bring it in fast. Water's going, it's tidal. It comes in and out. Mother Earth, the earth direction says, we're stone people. You're asking for things in a fast way when it may take a little bit longer. Think of how long it took us to get here. But we're on the path to ultimate evolution. This is one for me to sit with for a while. Fire, water, earth, air. And then as I started throwing this, I said, but there's more than that. There's the galactic. There's the center earth. And then there's us. Where are we leading ourselves? What is the illumination? What do we know? This knowing revealed illumination is going to bring us into a new leadership. All right. Thank you for being with me on this Sunday with Spirit. Peace and love.